I also find this is just a little extracurricular activity for after we've done all those steps, that closing your eyes. Now, this is not quite as practical with something that's going like this so much, but it does help. So I would just close my eyes and play all these things over and over until I can start getting them a little bit faster, and until I can really play eyes closed. There will be some mistakes along the way. However, if we keep practicing like that, it will really greatly improve. The next concept I want to talk about is accuracy and tempo. We're going to go through a lot of the same concepts that we just did, but I find that a lot of students struggle when they pull things to a higher tempo. I struggle with the same thing. And there have been steps along the way that have helped me a lot. I'm going to take the Winter Wind Etude. I'll just play this first page, and so we can get ourselves familiar with the material. Okay, so we have that, and I missed a note right there, just on that last little passage. However, I used to miss a lot more notes than that, and there are some things that I've done that have really helped. And if we played it again, maybe it would be perfect. Maybe it would have a mistake somewhere else. But if we're doing it so well that maybe we miss one note in the entire first page, it's getting to a level that's a lot higher than we're used to. Maybe we're used to missing 10 notes, maybe 20 if we're just learning the piece. But we want to get down to where we're not missing any notes, or where we're only missing maybe one note. And so ideally, we want the piece to be perfect going into a performance, so if something happens in the performance, we don't fall apart completely. So let's just go through a lot of those concepts again. Again, we're thinking the center of every key, and I'm going to take the bottom part of the page. This is really not that big of a challenge to most, because it's just really compact and it's not that hard to be accurate. But when you start getting into these passages, it gets really tricky because you're crossing under, and we're doing all these different things, and sometimes we have to skip to other hand positions. And in the left hand, same thing. Right there. Perfect place to mess up for a lot of us. We got to get it to where it's solid. Every single time, thinking the center of every key. We're going to add around the hard parts. We're going to take the skips. This is really the problem that I see with accuracy and tempo, is that our hand's always fine in the position where it's stable. So this, no problem at all, right? This, no problem at all. But getting to that F is the hard part. So are we just going to practice this way? Absolutely not. We're going to do the exact opposite, because that's not even hard. This is the hard part. See, I'm putting another rhythm to make sure that I'm skipping on the hard part so that my hand gets immediately in position. So I'm doing that over and over again. I think another concept that I want to present here is the concept of lateral motion. If we're going like this for skips, you can see that we're going to be inaccurate, we're wasting a lot of energy. So I want you to think keeping your hands close to the keys and just never letting them come above this. A great exercise to do is to use this lid right here and to get in position, and then do everything you can to not let your hand hit that when you go up, because if we're going, if you see any of this motion, it's obviously not okay. If you even feel a little bit of it, challenge yourself to get closer to the keys. Because you notice a lot of pianists, even just watch this section. How much movement do I have up and down? Not very much at all. It's just, I see a little bit of this motion. We don't want too much cross.